Welcome to our accounting standards codification research how-to video, I guess is the best way to put this video. I'm sharing my screen already, and I am in the start here section. I put a video here, this video here. So I guess if you're watching it, you found it already. Under supplemental, you're gonna find there's a lot of good supplemental stuff. These Connect introduction videos. If you've never used McGraw-Hill Connect, you might want to watch those videos just because it's more of an informative thing. But I'm going to show you, I made this example of the accounting standards codification research that we're going to do. All right. And this assignment, the one I'm showing you here, is a little different. Most of them are, well, I'll get to what most of them are in a second. But we have an accounting standards codification research assignment for every chapter except for chapter 2 and chapter 5. Chapter 5 is the second to last chapter we're going to be doing in this course, because it directly correlates with chapter 14, which is the last assignment we're going to be doing. And I don't want to introduce you. See, sometimes these books do things that are kind of weird. Like if you're in my 111 class by any chance, I hate chapter 7 because we introduced chapter 7 about certain things and then they never talk about it again, ever. So I don't really go over it anymore, truth be told. So chapter 5 is not as bad as 7 because 5 at least has some variation, or some not variation, some applicability to this course. It's not until chapter 14 that we really go into that. So I figured just bump chapter 5 to chapter 14. I digress. Back to accounting standards codification. Let's go ahead and look at this. In the student view, it's going to basically look the same way. It's under supplemental. This one is just my example of how I'm doing it. It's basically, you're going to find this video and this assignment in this section down here. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do here, so you can see this, how to do this video. As you can see down here in chapter 1, you're going to see this chapter 1 ASC research here. Okay, so you'll have them periodically throughout the chapters. Again, chapters 2 and chapter 5 are the only ones that don't have it. All right, let's go ahead and go look and see what we're going to be doing now. In this example, it's going to all these are going to be done through McGraw-Hill, and the beautiful thing about McGraw-Hill is it takes you right there. Now I need to go into student view, so otherwise it's just going to pop up and show answers. But let's go ahead and have a look-see at what this one is doing. This one's a little different, okay? And it kind of depends on what the question is about the accounting standards they're asking. First thing you'll want to do is that all of these are going to have you directed to the Accounting Standards Codification website by the FASB, the Financial Accounting Standards Board. So let's go click on this. It says it's going to open a new tab, so you don't need to worry about getting kicked off of your assignment. All right. Now in this one, okay, how to access it. Click I'm not a robot. Okay, it says, yep, I am not a robot. You're going to scroll all the way. You want to read that, by all means, please do. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I just, there I am. Now, when you're at this point, we need to do a search. We're going to go and look for something, all right? Now, I'm going to show you what most of your assignments are going to look like, and then I'll get to this one here. This one says, determine in which paragraph each of the following are discussed. Items typically classified as current assets. Now, if that's all you got, oops, I went the wrong way. If that's all the information you got, what we're going to need to do is type in the search box right here, enter a keyword. We're going to put current asset. And let's see what we get. And for the record, I have not pre-done this. I am doing this very raw. I don't believe in structured videos like that. So I want to just kind of do it like how you would be doing it. So first one here, we have implementation, guidance, and illustration. Let's go back to the assignment and see items typically classified. So we're looking for specific examples. What are things that are typically current assets? Implementation, guidance, and illustrations. Current cost of property, plant. Well, it starts to go into property, plant, and equipment. It just found the word current and asset. It didn't put them together and say, we're looking for just current assets. So let's try this. I don't even know if this is going to work, and we'll find out together. Let's put quotes around current asset. This hopefully is going to look for only things that say both current and asset and are right next to each other. All right, so we definitely did get a lot of different stuff. Now, if you need to figure out kind of is all these things? We're looking in this section. We're looking in this section of it. We could go click here on topics, contractors, federal government, airlines, balance sheet. Wait a minute. Where do we put current assets again? I think it's on the balance sheet, right? Financial instruments, credit losses, healthcare entities. See, a lot of these other things look like it's way too specific. Other assets and deferred costs, maybe. Intangibles, property, plant, equipment. So there's other areas here that just doesn't make sense. Foreign currency matters. We're not talking about foreign currency in this class. That's something you'll learn in intermediate accounting 2 or beyond. Okay, that I will confess, foreign currency was not my forte when I was in college, and I've never dealt with it since. But all this other stuff is pretty regular and things I've dealt with. Okay, now we're into government. Okay, let's look for balance sheet here. That seems to be what mainly we're looking for anyway. Balance sheet. Now, okay, it comes over and pulls this out. We have other presentation matters and overview and background. Let's just check out the overview and background first, okay? Balance sheet topics. Whoa. All right, so it is kind of going to look for those words for you, I think, and now it's wanting to like really, what's going on? Let's click back to the. Okay, so something is really wonky with my thing. It's not going up. Okay, it's really wigging out. The balance sheet topic includes two subjects, overall and offsetting. Okay, that was what I needed to read there. Something's really weird. Yeah, this is where let's see if I click back, if that'll fix it. Okay, let's try it again. Balance sheet. Overview and background. Okay, something went weird with my website. Oh, it looks like it's returning. I don't know. Sometimes you get a bug. I don't know. But anyway, a lot of this is just kind of talking about stuff, but it says here, I just noticed this. The overall subtopic provides general guidance on the classification of current assets and current liabilities. Perfect. That's what we want to look for is its current assets. Let's see if we can find something in here. We're in 210. It says see these paragraphs. So let's click on that and see if that helps us. Look at this. Current assets generally include all the following. Oh my goodness. Look at that. 210, 10, 45, and 1. Okay, look, and this assignment specifically already gave us 210, 10, 45. Now we know we can just put in 1 right here. Okay, because this one is the one that tells us what we were looking for. Items typically classified as current assets. Now let's look for assets typically not classified as current assets. And we can see here that we're already in that same section. Now, again, most of these questions you're going to get are going to be for you to look up the way I did. Hey, where is this subject matter? And you just type in here, click search, type in some keywords and look around. Again, though, that you do have a lot of these other things we could have clicked on assets probably and looked at that. But let's see here. It's asking what paragraph. So this is the whole paragraph here. All this is a paragraph. Okay. So now it is wigging out with this. Okay, let's try something else. Now that we know exactly what we're looking for, let's do this 210-10-05. Well, let's see if we can get a better hit on this. So this is a general overview. We've looked at that. Okay, current assets. Let's try clicking that again. Maybe I need to accept the cookies. Is that what it is? Why it's freaking out on me? I have been on this website before and it has not done this, but it looks like I'm freezing or something. Okay, click accept. Maybe that's going to help it now. Let's go to current assets. Let's go look at this. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was the cookies, but it's doing it again. All right, let's try page down on the keyboard. No, that's not helping. All right, like, oh, there it went. Maybe it was something like I was touching something. Here we go. Okay, now we can move on with our life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're looking for, what was it we were looking for? Assets typically not classified as current. So what are not current assets? Prepaid expenses are not current assets in the sense that they are that they'll be converted, but they are current. Okay, they're just explaining that they're a little different style. A 1 year time period shall be used as a basis for segregation of current assets. Okay, this is more explaining that. However, if the period of the operating cycle is more than 12 months, as in, for instance, the tobacco, distillery, lumber. Okay, these are good examples of what are not 12 months. I've always talked to my students, telling them there are some that are beyond 12 months, but I never really had good examples of it. But they're distillery. I think is that alcohol? I think it is. Lumber and tobacco are obvious. All right, the concept of nature of current assets contemplates the exclusion from that classification of such resources as following. Look at this. This is telling us what are excluded from that. And so we have paragraph 4. So let's go back here. We're going to put in paragraph 4. Now, let me mention again, if this were a different type of question, it would say a situation, and it'll say find the area in the codification that gives you clarification or information on that. So then you would go in there and type in the search I did at the beginning, and you'd be typing in all of these, but it would usually only be one. This one's we're scouring this section for this information. So it's a little different. Now we're looking for deferred revenue. What's deferred revenue? It's another fancy term for unearned revenue. So let's keep going. Unearned revenue is definitely a current liability. And so just as it was up here, where we talked about prepaid expenses, we're probably going to find a section that says unearned revenue specifically. Let's see if we do that. Maybe not. Expenditure within a year, no obligations. Obligations of the operating cycle. Let's see if we can find this guy. There's balance sheet category, the classifications of current liabilities. Okay, so payables, collections received in advance of delivery of goods. This is it right here. This is unearned revenue. Advanced collections and ticket sales. All right, perfect. So it looks like we're in section 8 is what we want. Classification of deferred revenue. There it is. And the last one is classification of current maturities of long-term debt. Current maturities of long-term debt. This is what we call the current portion of long-term debt. And we put that in with the current liabilities. So hold on, debts that arise from operating directly from, okay, no, that's, okay, yeah, that's not it. Other liabilities whose regular ordinary liquidation is expected to occur within a relatively short period of time, usually 12 months, are also generally included, such as short-term debts arising from acquisition of capital assets, serial maturities of long-term obligation. Oh, I think this is their fancy way of saying that. Yeah. Loans accompanied by. Okay, yeah, serial maturities of long-term debt. Basically, serial maturities are things. It means that you're maturing every month. Serial maturities. Serial meaning every certain period of time. Thinking, I hate to use this example. I can't think of anything coming to my mind. Think of a serial killer as someone that kills frequently, right? So that's what it's talking about. You're basically going to be paying this off. You have these long-term obligations, but you're paying them within that 12-month period. That's what this is talking about. So we're going to look for 9 here, and I'm hoping this is all right. I'm confident, but if we're wrong, let's go check my work. We'll find out. Hey, yay! All right. Well, let's. What happens? What happens if we were wrong? Let's say this one we put here was 7 instead of 8. You just click check my work. Like I said, I'm not a demon here. Okay. I'm not gonna restrict check your work on these. But the idea is that you're familiar with the codification. Does that mean you're an expert? No, I'm not an expert at the codification. I just know how to look things up. I do remember. So if you're planning on being a CPA, if you are planning on becoming an accountant of some kind, you're going to need to be familiar with the codification. And if you're not planning on it, first of all, it's kind of weird that you're in this class. I don't know. Maybe some people have to do this for management. I don't know. That is the video for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and we will see you in another video, I'm sure. So have a good one.